Hello, today I'd like to talk about Aeolus Editor. It's a function that probably most of you don't know about. That's the power of Aeolus. So for the memory, Aeolus is the additive synthesizer that is used in the organoid distribution, but you can run Aeolus in any computer you have, while it's a Linux computer for now. In this example, I'm using the last version of Aeolus, which is 0.10.4. I'm going to demonstrate how to use the editor and a quick explanation about the instrument definition file. So here, for example, it's the default organ. So the first thing you have to know is how is structured the organ definition. So I'm gonna go into the terminal, and in this folder I have downloaded the stops version 0.4. So let's go into this folder. What do we have inside? We have a list of .ae0 files, which are the pipe sound definition that we're going to work in the editor. And then you have three folders: Aeolus, Aeolus 1 and Aeolus 2, which contains the instrument definition. So let's list what's inside of Aeolus. For example, we have a definition file and a preset file. And if we go into Aeolus 1, which is another organ definition, we have the two very same files, and that's the case for every organ definition you may have. The difference is in the definition file itself. So I have opened one here. This is an example of an instrument definition file. In fact, this is this file which defines what you will see in the main Aeolus window. How many stops, how they are organized in terms of keyboards, etc. I'm not going into the details of this file and all this difference because there's nowhere where it's really documented. So I've learned by myself how to build those and to edit those. So for example, just a quick look. We define a new instrument with a tuning of 44 Hertz and with a style which is number 3. It corresponds to the the linear, it's about the tuning, which tuning it is. Then you define a certain amount of keyboards. So here we have 3 manuals, manual 3, manual 2, manual 1, and the pedal. Then you define some division in which you have the pipe sounds, the files we've seen previously, and they define as a rank with a few options. So here we have division number 3, division number 2, division number 1, and then the pedal. And then you define a few groups. That's where you say that you want buttons in the main Aeolus interface. So interface group number 3, group number 2, group number 1. Here in this definition file, which is the default one, you have one keyboard for one group, one keyboard for one division, exactly. But you can make some different things. I invite you to have a look in the various definition file that you have. Let's go back to the terminal. In Aeolus 1 definition, for example, here we have still 3 keyboards, 3, 2, 1 and pedal, but you have a definition number 4, but you have a division number 4, a division 3, a division 2, a division 1, and then in the groups, interface groups definition, that's where you will say that one keyboard here, it's keyboard number 1, will act as well on the 1st division as on the 4th division. So in order to learn a bit more about how this file is organized, if you want to build your own organ, in the Git where we host the Aeolus version with a small modification for organry, we have a wiki. So if you click on wiki, go to the address on top here, go to wiki, and then you go down into instrument definition file explanation. And we have an example file with a lot of comments inside, so you may learn what they do in Aeolus once Aeolus is started. Okay, I may have been a bit long about it, so now let's go back to Aeolus itself and its editor to edit the sound of pipes. So the trick is, when you are on the Aeolus window, to open the editor, you have to use both the keyboard and the mouse. You press and hold the control key and click on the pipe. Here will be principle 8. Control plus click with the mouse. Bam! And now the window opens with the editor. Now we can edit or see how the pipe is built. So currently I'm going to make only sound with this pipe. For the sake of demonstration, I will move some parameters, maybe in a way that you would never do, but just for the sake of example for you to understand what happens. So this is the sound as is it. It has been built by Fons Adriansen himself. First thing you want to see it is the rank. So here we are on the rank of 8. We can, for example, switch to the 4. So 8, you switch to a 4th rank, and then you have to click apply for the file to be recomputed. Here we are an octave above. If we go to 2 foot, we're above. Okay, so that's how you just change the footing of the pipe. This one is easy. Then you have all the parameters to edit the pipe sounds. Let's go through the page rapidly. So here are main setting applied to the whole pipe. Then you have a second page, which is harmonics level, which define the strength of each harmonic. And we'll see in detail how to use the editor. It can be different for different places in the organ, because each note does not have the same harmonic content, whether it's on one key to another. It can be different. That's it. For each harmonic you have another page, which is the attack. So each of the 64 harmonics you can tweak have their own attack time and attack peak. And then still these 64 harmonics have random parameter. Okay, so let's go back to the first page. We're here on the 8-foot pipe. Another trick to use the editor, as you can see here, you have numbers from 36 to 96, sorry, which correspond to the whole length of keyboard where the sound, the key will make sound. So that's the MIDI note numbers. So 36 is the lowest key and 86 is the highest key, and it's divided in steps of 6 in step of 6 notes. You can define a different parameter for each step of 6 notes, and that happens where a square is. If there is no square, then the software will interpolate between the lowest value and the next value for each note of the range. If you want to add or remove a point here, so a point so you can change the curve, you have once again to use control and hold and click to add a new point. If you want to remove this point, control, click on the point, and the point goes away. So this curve, for example, is the volume curve. I'm going to remove all this and make something really bad, as we can have the volume very high in the low notes and very low in the high notes. Let's try this. The more you go high, the more the sound is low. That's a bit extreme, but you may need to adapt this while you are voicing the organ. Let's make something more. Okay. You can then work on the instability. In the same manner, let's go very, very high for this value. Up. And now listen to it. You can hear the sound going up, down, not very, the tuning not correct, so that's instability. If I make instability minimum, sound is correct, stable. With instability, sound goes crazy. Okay, let's go to something more reasonable. We still sound the same. Attack time, attack detune. So let's go with attack detune. Here you see I'm just simplifying everything with having only one square, so it's easy to move the curve, which is now just a straight line. Attack detune, let's have it very high with an attack time very important. So for now, you can hear the error at the beginning of the note, which is characteristic from pipe sounds. More subtle, let's make a bit more. With a long attack. Okay, so here you can hear the subtlety of the editor and the power of it. And here again, there is only one point, and so this parameter will apply to the whole keyboard. But if you make a new point, then for each group of 6 notes from the lowest key to the highest key, then you can make subtle changes and make sure it fits something you want. Let's continue. So I'm moving this down so it's not okay. Decay time and decay detune is the same, but would apply when you release the note. Let's go. Oops, sorry. So decay detune will make a very, very important decay with a very, very high time. And okay, it's apply. Okay, you hear it. When we release a note, then we have a detune. That's also very characteristic. So okay, this is for the main. Oh, sorry, I forgot tuning offset here. If tuning offset is around 0, then the pipe itself will be, well, the rank in real will just be tuned perfectly relative to the global tuning we have seen previously in the instrument definition file. But you could make it slightly detuned. So for now we're here. Now we're more detuned. This can give a chorus effect if you build some rank stacks. Let's remove the detune. Okay. And then the random error, sorry, I just can't remember exactly what it does. Now you can hear it. each note will have its own random error on the tuning. All right. That's it. Now that was some global parameters, but what really makes the sound of the pipes is in the two harmonic tabs. I'm not an expert in voicing sounds. My goal here is just to explain you technically how it goes. When it comes to voicing stops, I call the expertise of my partners in the UK, and the organ which is in the organ distribution has been voiced by them. So here we say that the notes from 60, which is around center C in the keyboard, is composed with this harmonics power. Once again, I'm going to do something really silly, is to remove the first harmonic, which is the fundamental, from this space around the center of the key. Oh, we have lost the sound. Let's bring it up. Let's bring the third harmonic up. You have that kind of sound. And you can see that only changing one harmonic level can have a dramatic impact on the sound of the rank, I mean the pipes. So here I'm in the middle of the keyboard. I'm going on the lowest key, and you will see that changing the harmonics have no effect on the lowest key, because the lowest key have their own parameters where the harmonics power is different from the notes in the center of the keyboard. I hope this example makes things clearer. Now I'm going to switch to the attack harmonics. This may be more subtle, so let's go back to the center of the keyboard, and for the sake of example, we are building a very simple sound as I'm removing all the harmonics, and we should have, oh sorry, louder please. It's about a sign with the reverb. So if I go to attack, we can say that what we want. We have an attack time of here 50 milliseconds. It's in relation with the attack time you can have in the main tab. So this first harmonic here, let's say it has an attack of 400. Let's try this. Oh, you can hear it coming slowly. Yes, okay. And if we go back to very short attack, it goes most rapidly. And what the peak does is that it will either give a boost or a minus on the volume when the harmonic goes. Here, for example, you can see the first harmonic has a bit -1 maybe, then the second harmonic has a +6, and these are very characteristic on how the pipe will sound on the attack phase. Let's start with a boost, as we only have one harmonic for now. You can hear the attack peak. Let's make it longer. Can you hear it? Yeah. Make it very short. Oop, very long attack without any peak and with a minimum peak. It has a little hole before coming up. Okay, so once again, this is only the technical approach, and the role of the voicer is to deal with all these parameters to make something sounding good. Finally, the harmonics random just explains by itself. Sorry, we're gonna have something more standard. If I go with maximum random, make your opinion. Now, okay, we have made turn about everything I wanted to say about this editor. I hope you have learned things, and this video can be helpful to all people who want to either build a new organ definition or adjust existing pipe sounds to make them more to their likings. Have a great day. See you later. Bye.